A witch's talisman. Used near a bubbling cauldron to summon a witchy. The soil on that grave looks looser than the bowels of a man in a sleeping bag full of scorpions. Some rolling rocks look crumbly. Maybe try whacking them.
The Hall of Heroes. Bring the kids. It's like a theme park with a whole cast of lovable, heavily armed friends.
Fortescue? What's this I hear? That art-cad Zarok still alive? Thought you killed the fella. Never mind, you old war horse. Happens to the best of us. Think you've slaughtered a chap, but up he pops again. Crushed limbs flattering like cheap flags, but otherwise perfectly chipper. Or is that just me? What? Ha ha! Ha ha! Anyway, I expect Johnny Zombie's a bit more of a handful than you remember. How are you doing for weapons, old man? Tell you what, take my old war hammer. It's no bother. In 2 centuries, all I've used it for is putting up shelving.
The Hilltop Mausoleum. Think of it as a kind of pet shop, but with less fragrant purchasing choices.
Oh, Daniel Danikins. You are so persistent, I'll give you that. But then so are beggars' babies, and I trample those underfoot too. Look, you really must get it into your thick, exposed cranium. You cannot stop me from conquering Gallowmere. Already I have transformed the populace into servile zombies and drained the sunlight from the skies, withering many a tomato plant in the process. How could a spindly monovisual carcass like you reverse the momentum of such an epic master plan? And see where your stubbornness has got you? Do you see? You're trapped forever in this necropolis. Still, you could always discuss your predicament with my good friend up there. I'm sure he'd do his best to help you. Sadly, I can't hang about to listen to the musical twang of your tendons. My army is amassed, and it will not be long before my scouts locate the demon claw that will unlock my beloved shadow demons. I must return home to oversee the invasion of this pathetic realm, and possibly take a power nap.
Beware, imps are sticky-fingered thieves. Trust me, we can spot our own. The floor is collapsing! Run! Run! Get out quick! I trust you find yourself in a cash-rich situation. I am compelled by some primal force always to play this song of fear and sadness. Please, bring me new music, that I may break this cycle of endless misery. Go on, do us a favor. It's driving me mental. Not again! The floor is giving way, Dan! Run for our lives! Looks like the heart is his weak point. By the sacred underwear of Brittany, goddess of popular beat combos. I underestimated you, my friend. Dying obviously did you the world of good. That key opens the glass demon gate in the cemetery.
The Hall of Heroes. Sorry. What can I tell you? Your name's not on the list. I'm just messing. In you go.
Fortescue, you jawless arrow magnet. What are you doing in a hall of heroes? How I pity the people of Gallowmere. Oh, that their fate should be in the hands of a vacuum-headed chimp like you. Still, I suppose it's not fair to take it out on them. Take my longsword, and try not to stab yourself in the foot. You know, I've always had my doubts about you, Fortescue. You're simply not carved from hero material.
Return to the graveyard. We went there earlier. If you have reasonable short-term memory, you might remember it.
We need to get out of this graveyard. The glass demon's key might help. This path leads to Undertaker. An old acquaintance of yours, eh, Dan?
Greetings, stranger. I'm Death. It is I who eased the passage of lost souls on their final journey. The hours are hell, but I wanted a job working with people. But hold. Have we not met before? Sir Daniel Fortescue! I've done you once already. I never forget a corpse. It's that pesky Zarok. I'm up to my eye sockets in the ex-deceased. Business hasn't been this brisk since the great massacre of Mellowmead. I may have to take on an intern. Help you fight Zarok? Of course. If only to get some rest. I'd be off on holiday topping up my tan if it wasn't for that evil old madman. But there is a way to stop him. You'll need the Anubis Stone. It was used by Zarok 100 years ago to create an undead army. The very army that you fought on the day of your, arrow-based mishap. After that most bloody of battles, the Gallowmere people acquired the stone. To prevent its power being used again for evil, they broke it into 4 and gave each piece to a trusted member of the realm. You'll need to find all 4 pieces to use the stone's power. Then you can summon up an army that can compete with Zarok's elite guard, the terrifying Phasguls. They sound like a trapeze act, but trust me, they're a lot less fun. Well, I've seen and heard many things on my deathly duties. I could write a book, you know. Of course, no publisher would touch it. All I want these days is romantic fiction and epic poems. Anyway, one piece was buried with the great Moloch chief. His tomb is in this very cemetery. The mayor of Sleeping Village inherited a piece from his predecessor and knows its current whereabouts. There's a rumor